Hello, you guys. How are you tonight? It's Katie and Jake. I just wanted to share a sweet story. Don't mind our basement right now. It's a little bit of a mess. But I wanted to share a sweet story of my little boy, Jake, here. Can you have a seat, Jake? Can you have a seat for me, please? Can you have a seat? Can you sit pretty for me, please? Yeah, I didn't ask you to speak, though. I'm going to switch this around so you can see me. How are you? Come on up, Jake. Come on. Come on. Come on, babies. Okay, so you wonder why I would do a scope on Jake. Well, I'm doing a scope on Jake because I've had a few people say I should tell his story. And he is a 3-year-old Australian cattle dog, and what a sweet, sweet, smart boy he is. But he is our second cattle dog that we've had. We had a red girl for almost 10 years. Well, no, about 14 years, almost 14 years. And her name was Aggie, after Texas A&M, and she was wonderful. And we had to put her down, and I was devastated. And I told my husband, I said, we have to get another one. And he said, no, I don't want another dog. And I said, well, you know, I'm going to find a breeder. I said, I don't want one right away. My husband works for the Department of Defense, and I knew he was about to be deployable. And I thought, and my youngest was graduating from high school. I said, you know, girls are going to be in college. They're not going to need me a whole lot. You're going to be deployable, and I'm going to be alone with no dog. That's not acceptable. So I found this breeder. It's Kurpas, Kurpas, if you're ever looking for cattle dog breeders. I found this wonderful breeder in the Detroit area, and she said she had puppies right then, but they were all spoken for. And I said, well, we weren't ready right away. We were looking at January, and this was Memorial Day weekend, 3 years ago. Hey, Margaret, I'm telling Jake's story tonight. I know. Margaret loves Jake. She knows him well. In fact, sometimes I think she thinks he's her dog. Have a seat, Jake. Have a seat. Let's talk, okay? Jake doesn't like the phone, so if he thinks he's going to get his, he is not yours, Margaret. I know you think he is, but he's not. He likes to have your 100% attention, so the phone kind of makes him mad. So he might get a little irritable, but he won't, get stupid. So anyway, Cheryl told me to find her on Facebook and to get to know her, and she would get to know me, that she never sells her puppies to people she doesn't know, which is a really reputable thing for breeders, guys. Are you looking for a breeder for any kind of dog, you need to know that they don't just sell their dogs to just anybody. You just don't want to do that. That's just wrong. So I found her. Jake, do you want your other chickie? Is that your problem? We call them chickies, and so he'll get a bacon chickie. Let me let you see. Hold on. Have a seat. Can you lay down nice? Can you tell me secrets? Shh, tell me secrets. Lay down nice. Tell me secrets. How about rock and roll? That's a good boy. Okay, now he'll be happy. So anyway, I found her on Facebook, and I immediately fell in love with this little beautiful puppy with this black patch by his eye. Yeah, like Jake. And I just was dying all summer long. I'm looking at these pictures, and I would comment and said, I'm dying for my own puppy. I said, I just cannot wait to get my hands on him. And we wanted a blue male. We'd already had a red female, and I knew I didn't want another female dog. And I don't really have anything against female dogs, except that until we had Aggie, we had all male dogs, and they just seemed to have a better temperament. Come on, back up, Jay. Hey, Jake, there's no more chickies. There's no more. Come on up. Come on. Come on. Let people see how wonderful you are. Sit. Have a seat. Have a seat, mister. Hey, thank you. So I found her, and I kept telling her how much I loved him with this little black spot. And it was about mid-September, and she messaged me on Facebook and said, hey, Kate, things have changed, and we've had some shifts in male dogs in the house, and we have too many male dogs in the house, and I have a blue male available. He's almost 14 weeks. He's had all his shots except for rabies, and he's crate trained and leash trained. And I already knew she sold her pups for $800. She said, I will give him to you for $5. And I got totally excited. And I'm like, Miller, they have a blue male. And I showed pictures. I'm like, it's the one I've been looking at. I have to have him. I said, he's $500. And he said, baby, we were talking January. And I'm like, I know. I said, but I really want him. And he goes, honey, it's not in the budget. We just paid tuition. My daughter was up at Spring Arbor University, which is a private university, which translates to like almost $30,000 a year in tuition. Ridiculous, ridiculous, big mistake. I'll talk about that another time. College tuition gets my blood pressure up. I'm just going to say, college tuition should not cost what it does. It just should not be that unaffordable. But that's not what this scope is about. So I'm going to take a deep breath and get off the college tuition thing. Yeah, I know, right, Margaret? So he said, honey, we don't have it's not in the budget. And I said, but I have $300 in the puppy fund. And he said, you have a puppy fund? I know, right, Jake? I had a puppy fund, Jake. For you, I had a puppy fund. I did. I had a puppy fund. Did you like that? And he said, oh my gosh. He said, but, he said, baby, I mean, I know it's only like $200, but it's not in the budget. And I think he was just really hesitant because he was still heartbroken over Aggie and just really didn't want to do it because he wasn't ready. And I said, well, I'm going to go look at him because I texted her back. And first I said, I really have to honor what I had planned with my husband and it's just not there. And she said, well, Kate, is it the time or is it the money? Well, he was actually home all day during the day because he was going to school. And I said, it's actually the money right now. I said, we have the time. It's like the perfect time to get a puppy. And she said, just come see him. So I told Miller, I said, I'm going to go see him. And he goes, well, good, because then he's on you if you bring him home. And if you know me well, the first thing you do, the worst thing you do is pull one of those, well, good, it's on you, because I kind of get that little snotty attitude right back. And I said, well, good, then it's on me. Then you can't pet my dog. It was kind of ridiculous. But I said, no, seriously, baby, I'm not going to come home with like this ridiculous demon dog. So we talked about it, back and forth. And it just, you don't need to know every detail back and forth. But he finally said, where is she? And I said, well, the thing is, she's in Detroit. And he's like, where in Detroit? And where I told him, I don't know if anybody's familiar with the Detroit area. Is anyone familiar with the Detroit area? Put some hearts up or some whatever and let me know if you know Margaret does. So it was, has anyone heard of Eminem? You know who Eminem is? Nobody knows who Eminem is? Well, that's interesting. Margaret knows who Eminem is. Okay, so south of 8 Mile, on the Detroit side, near Conrad Street. So it's like Sherwood, east of Sherwood. Not a good area, A lot of burned out houses, a lot of gang-tagged houses, just a really rough area. And he said, I'm going to go with you. And I said, okay. And in the back of my mind, I'm thinking, I'm getting a puppy. So we went to, I know, right, Margaret? Thanks. So we went to go look at him, and the first thing I did was sat on the floor, and he just climbed in my lap, and I knew he was going to be my forever baby. I just knew it. And as soon as I saw Miller's face, and he said, oh my God, he's beautiful. And he really is a beautiful, beautiful cattle dog, but he's just so sweet and silly, which, speaking of sweet and silly, I need to make sure he's not eating auction stuff. Hold on. Look at you. What a good boy. Okay, you're being good. He's not one to really chew, but it's really, I know, Jake, I love him. He's such a cuddle bug. He's not one to really chew, but last year when we had my auction stuff, there was a stuffed animal in, like, it was a dog's basket, and he got really excited, and he ate the Garfield out of it, and I had to replace it. And the stupid chintzy Garfield was like $12. I was so mad at him. So anyway, our breeder said to us, she said, and I should probably tell you kind of a little bit about me and my husband so you know. I work for a nonprofit community outreach. And so, I'm sorry, my nose is still running. I'm feeling much better. I've been sick for like 3 weeks, but I'm feeling like so much better, but my nose is still running. So I work for a nonprofit community outreach, and I help, I manage a couple really large outreaches, a large fundraiser, and a food pantry. But everything we do helps families that need food, clothing, school supplies, medical help. We do foster care prevention, all kinds of stuff like that. My husband is a Department of Defense civilian. He works for the Department of the Army. And he has deployed in the past 10 years. He's deployed to Iraq and to Afghanistan and to Kuwait several times. And so, and he coaches high school baseball. So we're very busy, and we're real passionate about what we do, and we do a lot in the community and in the neighborhood. And, you know, so you see it on Facebook. So she's been seeing our family, and she sees that, you know, we're pretty close. I'm not saying we're like wonderful people, because trust me, I have big flaws, don't I, Margaret? I'm high maintenance. Yeah, thanks. You can probably put up more hearts than that, because you know me better than that, Margaret. Yep. I'm a little demanding sometimes, a little bit of a princess. Yeah, I have those moments. But we love really hard, and we really care about our family and friends, and I really care about people. My heart's just really broken for people that are really unable to do things for themselves for whatever reason, whether it's mental illness or just, you know, they've had some really hard times. And so she has seen that. So she said to us when we came in there, and I was in tears, and I didn't realize that I was still so devastated after losing Aggie. And I know it sounds funny when you say that about a dog, but with him deploying as much as he has, you know, the dog ends up being your companion and your protection and your family. I mean, she was my family, and she really didn't like anybody but me, so that made it harder, you know. So anyway, Cheryl said to us, she says, I've been watching you guys for months on Facebook. And she said, all I have to say is that I really appreciate everything you do for the community and for our country. And she said, if you want him, he's yours. And she shook my husband's hand. And she gave us Jake. She gifted him to us. Now, I should probably tell you that I didn't tell you this earlier, back the day that Aggie died, I said, I know, right? I said, God is going to put the right dog in our house at the right time. And it might not be the time that we say, but the right dog's going to come in our house at the right time. And so Tom kind of laughed at me. He's used to that. I mean, he's used to me, because I say stuff like that to him all the time. I'll have to tell you about the time that I thought we needed to adopt a baby. That didn't go over real well. I told him to pray about it, and he said, I will, but I'm not there. I think we're still praying about it, because we don't have a Chinese baby in the house yet. So maybe one day. So anyway, when we took Jake home and fell in love with him immediately, and he's been such a good dog, and he does all kinds of tricks. He's just really, really eager to please. But he's also very demanding. He claims, I mean, Jake runs the house, okay? But anyway, we sent her a check for $500 as soon as we had gotten paid, because we really wanted to at least give her what she had been asking for originally. Because, I mean, I know that, you know, they obviously, especially living where she's living, they don't make a lot of money. They don't have a lot of money. And I just felt so blessed and so honored that she would trust him with us. And she told me, she said, she sent the card back. I should have brought it downstairs, and I didn't think to bring it downstairs. Worse, I'm sharing Jake's story. Yep. So we got the card back in the mail with the check canceled, and she said, you know, it was a long note about, please just let me do this for you. She voided the check out and said, just repay me with a lifetime supply of pictures. So I tag her in pictures and videos and stuff, and people tease me all the time that I post more pictures of my dog than of my kids, but my kids are grown. So, I mean, why post pictures of my kids now, right? I do post pictures of my kids, but I do post a lot of pictures of him, don't I, Margaret? But he's so stinking cute. So, when she sent it, she sent his papers to us. And if you're not familiar with, he is my kid. If you're not familiar with like AKC papers, they usually have the breeding kennel's name first, and then whatever they name the dog. So the kennel is Kirpus. And it said Kirpus's Divine. Now I just totally forgot what it was. Do you remember Divine Promise? It was Divine Promise, right, baby?
Yep.
It was Kirpus. You remember it, Margaret. It just like escaped me. It said Kirpus's Divine Promise. So, hello. God gave me a puppy. That's all I got to say. So, I just wanted to share that with you. And I don't know if it made anyone's day or not, but I thought it was cool. I thought it was worth sharing. Hey, Jake, you want to come say bye? Come here, bubbies. Come here, Rexter. Jake, we call him Jake. We call him J-Rex. Come on up. Come see it. You want to snuggle? You want snuggle time? Come on. Jake likes to snuggle. Like this, don't you? Jake from State Farm. Yes, because he has khaki pants. So he's Jake from State Farm, or J-Rex, or Rexter, or Bubba's, or Bubbies, or JB for Jakey Boy. Right? Are you going to shovel? Yep. Thank you, baby. So he's a good boy. So that is the story of Jake. You want to say hi? Do you want to say hi? Were you drooling? Can I have kisses? No? See, this is where he gets snotty because he doesn't like the phone. He doesn't like I don't know why. He's like, pay attention to me and only me, aren't you? He's a good boy. I know. Margaret's giving you kisses, Jake. Did you say hi? Can you say hi? He's a very, very sweet puppy. He's not really a puppy anymore, but he's my puppy. He's 3. He's a big cattle dog. The vet says he is not fat, but he is probably a little bit heavier right now than he was when we took him a couple months ago because it's wintertime. He doesn't get a lot of walking right now, but he will get walks later. Funny thing, he likes to be on the leash. He likes to go walking. He likes to go find bunnies. Don't you? No, we're not going to go find bunnies right now. But he doesn't like the harness. So like if we put the harness on him, if you say, Jake, you want to go bye-byes and go for a walk, his ears go down and he gets upset. But then when he's on the walk, he's good. Where are you trying to go? Because I said that bye-byes word, and I said walk. So it's the only dog I've ever known that doesn't get excited when you ask him if he wants to go for a walk. He gets really upset. And he doesn't like a bath either. But he's super, super sweet and super good. And super Jake. So you'll hear me talk about him if you're on my Instagram, which I think is Tomcat or Katie. It might be Cat and Tom. I don't even know what it is. Margaret, what's my Instagram? Do you know? Of course you don't. No, I'll have to look it up. If you're on my Instagram, you can check it out there. There's always a ton of pictures of Jake on Instagram. I don't put too many on Twitter, but my Twitter is Katie S. Miller, just like this. And my Facebook is just Katie Miller. I'm looking for my Twitter now. I'm going to find my twit. Who am I on? On this. How do I find it on there, Margaret? See, I am not technologically savvy like some of you guys are, and I don't always know. How do you find where you are, who you are on there? Do you know, Margaret? Edit profile. How about we do that? It's Katie, the letter N, Tom. So if you want to follow on there, there's other stuff there. My kids are on there, and I like to bake and stuff, but there's some really cute pictures of Jake and videos of Jake, and you might get sick of Jake, but I just wanted to share that really sweet story with you guys because it's just, he's an answer to prayer. And, when your heart is broken, even when your heart isn't broken, God's going to answer your prayers. But when your heart is broken and you just really pour out your desires and you really share with God, where you're at, the blessings that come afterwards are just so immense and so sweet and so perfect that I just think sometimes they're worth sharing. And the people that are part of those sometimes are really worth being honored. And and an interesting note, if you watch the Westminster Kennel dog show, last week. Last week, I think it was. Sobe is a red cattle dog, and she is Jake's cousin. And Sobe won Best in Show at the Westminster Dog Show, or whatever they call that, Kennel Club. I'm really bad at these things. We've never showed Jake. It's not something I would do. And I'll show you a couple Jake pictures when he was a baby, too, here in a minute. Yeah, he's not, I would never do show dogs for me, because for me to have a dog is to just really love my puppy, to be. So this is Sobe. It's not a really great shot, but Sobe is a red cattle dog. And she, like I said, just won Best in Show at the Westminster Dog Show. My house is a mess because I'm working on an auction, so don't judge. But so Sobe won Best in Show. Here's a better picture. And so Jake is related to a famous cow dog. Not that it matters, but isn't she beautiful? She looks like Aggie, doesn't she, Margaret? It's hard to see. She does, doesn't she? I'll have to find the pictures of Jake when he was a baby. Jake is just the most... I know I'm a little prejudiced because he's my baby, but I just don't ever think I have seen a cattle dog with as much personality as him. He's just so super sweet and just such a good boy. And I really like him a lot, if you can't tell. I gotta get back to there. Facebook has had some sort of a weird update. And I'm having a hard time finding my friends and stuff on there the right way. Have you noticed that, Margaret, or is it just me? It's probably a mom thing, isn't it? Okay, so let's find... Jake's 3 now, so she's had a lot of puppies since then. That's Claire. Okay, so this is the face that I fell in love with on Facebook, that I could not live without. That's Jake. I mean, look at that face. And the more I watch, I know, right? I know, the more I watched these puppies, the more I couldn't stand it. That was one of the red ones. And that's Claire. Claire is his mirror twin. She has the same marking as him on the other side. Look at them. She's sticking her tongue out, and there's Jake. And so I had to have that puppy. I just couldn't stand it. I had to have him. So when she called me and let me know that I could come see him, I just thought my life was just... It was just perfect at that moment. So I don't know if this is a boring scope. It really didn't do anything to help anybody, but I just wanted to share the story of Jake. So thanks for joining with me. If you want to share this out with somebody, please do. If you're ever looking for an Australian cattle dog, which is a working dog and super, super smart and super good with kids and super good watchdogs. I mean, really good watchdogs. Nobody's coming in this house or yard unless Jake says they are. So if you're ever looking for one, message me on Twitter, and I will put you in contact with a couple really good breeders. Even Cheryl's got some of her dogs all over the world, including Amsterdam. So they're just really, really good dogs and really healthy. The only downfall about cattle dogs, I don't know if you can see all this hair, is they shed a lot. But super cute. And Margaret, you just snapped something. Did you just snap a picture of me? I know you. I know you, girl. I will snap pictures back. Just saying. No, good. And are you coming home soon? Because I miss you. Yes. When? She's not answering. In a week, yes. Oh, hey, and Margaret, I got my hair done today. Yeah, That way you don't have to ask, did you just get your hair done? I did. I just got it done today. I just got it brightened up today. She did a really good job. And she cut my bangs a little short, but they'll grow. So I'm going to get off here. I have probably 15 baskets to wrap for the auction. And then I need to start tagging. I need to get stuff in order so that when Margaret comes home, and she helps me because she is my right-hand girl when it comes to auction time, I'm not making her crazy then. So I've got to get some work done. But you guys have a really, really great night. If you are in the Detroit metro area, stay off the roads because it's really nasty, icy, snowy, slushy out there. You may as well just stay home and stay warm. And I feel like I'm being choked by my necklace here. So have a really good night. And thanks for spending time with me.